Something I want to talk about today is being alone. Not in a bad way, in a sense where it's like you have no friends, you have no, not that, but being alone in the sense that everything, for me at least, makes more sense when you're by yourself. Like you go through the terrible days alone, you go through the good days alone, you go through quite literally everything. Um, I like to call it isolation because I found that whenever I have new people in my life, I always get distracted, and it ends up leaving me in a very tough position, in a sense where I don't know where to go from point A to B to C, because like I have so many things going on in my life that it's too much to juggle. And I don't know if it's weird, but whenever I'm not alone, I'm always like entertaining new people, new friends, new hobbies, new activities. I always become stressed and like demotivated, emotionally down, and everything. It's like it's too much for me to handle. I'm not saying this as a weakness, but rather as a strength. That, like a lot of people are afraid of being alone. But for me, it's always been a thing of like, I'm afraid of being like accompanied, if that's the right word. I'm afraid of having too many people around me, because I feel like you always have to put on like an act when you're around people, when you know literally everybody on campus, when you know literally everyone at your apartment, you're cool with everything, and like you always have to put on a specific face. Whereas if you're alone, you're focused on what you want, it's just you, no distractions, you're isolated, you know what you want in life. It's like you have nobody else to impress but yourself. And it's really easy to take your problems and run with them to the next guy and be like, oh, I'm going through 1, 2, 3. Like, this is my life. Like, but does the person you're with actually care about what you're going through? Like, do they really, really care about what you have to say? Or are they just telling you what you want to hear? I've been in many situations like that where I will tell someone or something that, I've been doing well, and like the message comes through and it's like, it's the same recycled shit that you've been telling me for the past 16 years. Now, to be fair, I do the same thing when somebody comes to me and they tell me that they're going through something. I was telling the same recycled crap that, yeah, bro, like, you're just having a bad month. You're just having a bad day. Like, you'll be alright next month. Like, what are you worried about? Being isolated just teaches you how to be yourself, how to get rid of limiting beliefs, how to be aligned with, like, the more spiritual you, in a sense, where it's like, it all goes back to the thing of pleasing everyone but yourself. I feel like niggas that have like too many friends are always trying to like make somebody laugh and push an agenda that they're cool and they're nice and like everybody likes them and whatnot. But it's like, is that really cool? Like, it costs a lot to become the best version of yourself. It also costs a lot to become the worst version of yourself. I don't want you to take being alone in the literal sense that like, oh, this dude doesn't have friends, he's depressed. Like, I mean, behind closed doors, who are you? When nobody's watching, when nobody has something to say, when nobody is listening to you, right, about your problems and your issues, who are you? Who are you? So, you gotta find joy in living life in a way where it's like I have nobody else to impress but myself. Like being private is not hard, bro. I don't have any social media. I don't have Twitter. I mean, I do have Twitter. Sorry, I don't have IG. I don't have all that other crazy stuff. So going under the radar is really easy. But I don't know, it's just something about being alone and isolated that just puts you on a different level from everybody else. Don't get me wrong, there are people that like thrive off like getting all the attention they want. And there's also people who thrive from getting no attention. So this video is not to make you think some sort of way, but it's to make you understand a different way of thinking. Where it's like, being by yourself really does do a lot for you. It's done a lot for me. It's like, there's so many things I've achieved and seen and realized just by being in this room all by myself. It's also easier to see who likes you, who doesn't. It's also easier to see who has fake agendas, fake narratives, who wants to prove a point. And you know, like it's easier. But yeah, I feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over again, just differently. It's life is good when you trust God and yourself, and you know you're always like locked in and just worried about what you want and not what your friend wants, what your sister wants, what your girlfriend wants. It's just you and you, bro. Because like nobody understands you more than you understand yourself. You know, so you know, like you just gotta exist. Show up every day, exist, and like don't do too much. It goes a really long way. And I've noticed that I thrive more when I'm by myself. I say this all the time. I feel like the theme of like this channel is solitude. It's cool to like thrive alone and like, be your own unit and your own thing. You know, like. But don't let that determine who you are. Don't let that break or ruin friendships that you've built. Don't let that create friendships that you want to have in the future. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Like it'll all come together. It'll all connect. Like ain't no wrong with being alone, bro. It's like more so like admirable. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a whole lot of talking. Just choose yourself all the time. And learn how to be alone. Learn how to make your own decisions. You don't need your friends for everything in your life. You don't need your mom. You don't need your sister. You don't need anybody else but yourself, because you came on this planet alone. You will leave this planet alone. So I hope you learned something today in a sense. Yeah.